I am late. I am so sorry. I'm like 17 minutes late here. I do apologize for that. New puppy. I think you saw her on Facebook. Lovely, but not loving the crate. And when I'm upstairs with 3 dogs, we get crated. So we crate at night. And let me tell you, that dog had staying powers yesterday. Little Maltese. And she was going till about 4 o'clock in the morning. Got up, took her outside, put her back in, and she just kept going. Whew, she ate like a champ this morning, though. She ate the breakfast of champions, so I was happy. And I'm looking for something here on Facebook. Wait to see who comes on board. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really running late. I'm going to put a note here, letting people know I am live on YouTube. All right. Oh my God, no one's here yet. Been a minute. Soyan, hi. I'm so sorry to have kept y'all waiting. All right, well, I want to pull something up. Hey, Rosemary. It's just such a day. What a year this month has been. Oh, man. God, I post a lot on Facebook. I'm trying to find, if I go to look for something, it's like, damn. I post a lot of shit. Ay, ay, ay. All right, how's everybody doing? Nicoletta, hi, Bridget, Claire, yay, thanks for being here. Got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Okay. All right. Well, Debbie, hi. Lisa, you know what? I'm really okay too. What I'm not so okay with is all of the what I get in terms of my messages and my texts that are not so happy with people who are trapped home with abusive spouses that for whatever reason, at least they left for work, and could be, but now they're in that house trapped together and no place to go. So there's that. There's people who don't have money for food, people who genuinely cannot pay their bills. Here in Connecticut, $1,200 is pretty much what it costs everywhere to get like a 1-bedroom apartment. That's if you're lucky, you can find one for $1,200. So, not saying I'm not grateful, but that's not going to pay the bills for a lot of people. So, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to talk about all of that right now. What I do want to say, just I think we're all frustrated. I think we're all tired of this. I do want to talk about scrying, divination. I've got some cool things here that I want to share with you. We'll talk a little bit about this. And I'm looking at my notes and I'm looking at, okay. But I'm going to start with this. I shared this on Facebook a couple days ago, and these are the official coronavirus guidelines. You ready? Okay. So number 1, basically you can't leave the house for any reason, but if you have to, then you can. Masks are useless, but maybe you have to wear one. It can save you. It is useless, but maybe it is mandatory as well. Stores are closed except for those that are open. You should not go to hospitals unless you have to go there. Same applies to doctors. You should only go there in case of emergency, provided you are not too sick. This virus is deadly, but not too scary, except that sometimes it actually leads to a global disaster. Gloves won't help, but they still can help. Everyone needs to stay home, but it's important to go out. There is no shortage of groceries in the supermarket, but there are many things missing when you go there in the evening, but not in the morning, sometimes. The virus has no effect on children except those it affects. Animals are not affected, but there is still a cat that tested positive in Belgium in February when no one had been tested, plus a few tigers here and there. You will have many symptoms when you are sick, but you can also get sick without symptoms, have symptoms without being sick, or be contagious without any symptoms. Oh my. In order not to get sick, you have to eat well and exercise, but eat whatever you have to on hand. It's better not to go out. Well, but no. It's better to get some fresh air, but you get looked at very wrong when you get some fresh air. And most importantly, you don't go to parks or walk, but don't sit down, except that you can do that now if you are old, but not for too long, or if you are pregnant, but not too old. You can't go to retirement homes, but you have to take care of the elderly and bring food and medication. If you are sick, you can't go out, but you can go to the pharmacy. You can get restaurant food delivered to the house, which may have been prepared by people who don't wear masks or gloves. But you have to have your groceries decontaminated outside for 3 hours. Pizza too? Every disturbing article or disturbing interview starts with, I don't want to trigger panic, but you can't see your older mother or grandmother, but you can still take a taxi and meet an older taxi driver. You can walk around with a friend, but not with your family if they don't live under the same roof. You are safe if you maintain the appropriate social distance, but you can't go out with friends or strangers at the safe social distance. The virus remains active on different surfaces for 2 hours. No, 4, no, 6. No, we didn't say hours, maybe days, but it takes a damp environment. Oh no, not necessarily. The virus stays in the air. Well, no, or yes, maybe. Especially in a closed room. In 1 hour, a sick person can infect 10, so if it falls, all our children were already infected at school before it was closed. But remember, if you stay at the recommended social distance, however, in certain circumstances, you should maintain a greater distance, which studies show the virus can travel further, maybe. We count the number of deaths, but we don't know how many people are infected, as we have only tested so far those who were almost dead to find out if that's what they will die of. We have no treatment, except there may be one that apparently is not dangerous unless you take too much, which is the case of all medication. And lastly, we should stay locked up until the virus disappears, but it will only disappear if we achieve collective immunity. So when it circulates, but we must no longer be locked up for that. Okay, I don't know who the original author of that was, but pretty much that's what it sounds like. It's like maybe yes, no, perhaps. I don't know. And that's enough of that. Okay. Bridget, Karen, Murray, hey everybody. So yeah, let's talk about divination. Let's talk about scrying. And I think with the time we have on our hands right now, it's great to practice and learn different methods and methodologies of divination. I teach a class called Methods of Divination where I talk about everything but tarot. That's a separate class. And the two basic methods of divination are prophecy and I'm sorry. There's prophecy and there's divination. I am loopy. I'm so sorry. Prophecy and divination. Scrying being a form of divination. Prophecy belongs to people who have inspired prediction, dreams, visions, oracle ordinances. They're called oracles. They don't use tools. Very often oracles work with angels, so angelic prophecy. And then there's scrying. And that's gazing into an object or a substance. There's all different types of scrying, but I'm going to focus on the scrying. And the oldest scrying, I will say, most likely was fire scrying, fire gazing. And that, back when we're spinning, the rhythmic rotation of the wheel often put women into a trance, and then gazing into the fire. It was just ripe for amazing divination. Now we need to, rather than go into trance state, we need to be able to clear, calm, and center our minds. You have to clear. You don't want any of your own stuff in there. You have to be able to calm, because it's not coming from you, it's coming through you, and center yourself. That's key to any form of divination. With mirror and crystal ball scrying, there is all different sorts of things you can use. Obviously, if you have a mirror, that's what Nostradamus used, a mirror, a plain mirror. I like a silvered mirror myself. It's the one thing I didn't bring down to show you, but I think we've all seen old silvered mirrors. You can usually get some really cool ones at different antique shops with the handles, the old-fashioned ones that were on the vanity. Hey, you can hear it, Sam. Okay. Now, when you work with the black mirrors, and this is mine here, it's got a felt back, and I keep it in a stand, covered. Working with any of these tools, the methodology is the same. You work in a dimmed room, dimmed lighting, candle or lighting source behind you. Okay, so there's nothing, and you don't want anything shining on the actual surface. You want to gaze at it at such an angle that you see the entire surface without seeing your reflection in it. And it's almost like gazing into an infinity pool. You've all seen those pools that it looks like there's just no ending, even though there is. That's what you want to get, that sense of eternity and space, because you're opening up your mind to images that will come through. I find the dark mirrors, and I've talked to enough readers and others that have concurred, are great for our own shadow work and deep personal concerns. This is another mirror, again, a black mirror from the shop, and it is obsidian. It's actually an obsidian slab that's been polished. They're from Mexico, nice and thick. Wonderful, wonderful tool. Again, you use it the same way. Okay. Another tool to use is the bowl. You can use your cauldron as well, and you fill with water, and it's the same thing. You gaze into it. Use a great source. Moon water would be wonderful in here. Okay, but you want to gaze into the bowl without looking at your own reflection. Okay, so you're holding it at an angle where you see the surface, but you're not focusing on any of the ends. Okay, and then you also can use an agate slab. Okay, these are like $3, $5, but you want to have the quartz center, and you look at it this way. Okay, into it and through. With the bowl, I will tell you, some people also dye the water. They'll put a little bit of black ink in there. That's not necessary, but some people do. And again, your cauldron, your black cauldron, another good source. When it comes to crystal balls, there's two different types of crystal ball. There is natural quartz crystal. You know it's natural quartz because it has all of these inclusions. Okay? You often can get the rainbows. Right. You actually just get lost in there. And that's what you do. With these, you can actually clear your mind, focus. Oh gosh, I wish you could see. I had one that looked like a half a moon. It was clear on one, and it was inclusions on the other. Fantastic. This does have a natural dividing line. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, I think you could. Look, yeah, you can. Look. See how that's split? Isn't that cool? Yeah. All right. So this is natural quartz, $95. I mean, and that's way inexpensive. I know the gentleman I buy these from, that his family, they come from his own mine, and his family works the mine, so prices come down. But that's what, a 4-inch sphere. That's pretty inexpensive. For the same price, roughly. Now it'd be more, but this is mine in my room. Now this is glass, but with glass, you get the perfectly clear, okay? And it's just ground quartz, basically. It's been melted, all the impurities taken out, and then poured so that you get a perfectly clear sphere. You couldn't possibly buy something like this clear. In fact, even the 4-inch one I showed you earlier, to get a perfectly clear, first of all, I don't think you can find one that's perfectly clear. The clearer they are, the more the money goes up. Okay, the less inclusions, the more expensive the natural quartz, whereas this still has the same energy. Really, I've worked with both, and you still have the energy of the quartz. And with this one, I have this really cool, I'll show you here. This is my stand. It's 3 carved people intertwined. Big sphere needs a big stand. So let me tell you some stories about spheres. The black mirror, the first time I used it, yeah, I'm looking, hey Faith, okay, hey Carrie. First time I used the mirror, I was contemplating a divorce and I wanted some help and was looking for visions, guidance, what I was doing, where I was going from here. So I did my mirror and I was holding it, light in the back, dim room, very quiet. And I swear to you, on my children's lives, I mean, I was surprised. I wasn't expecting this. But on my mother popped up, and it was like I was looking at a TV screen. So she was there. No, nothing came out of her, but just, like, oh, hi, Mom. My mom was passed, by the way. And then she proceeded, and it was like watching a slideshow. She brought out every pet, and I wanted to be a veterinarian, and I had many, many pets. But I worked for, I had 10. I had a work permit, and I was working for a veterinarian until I was 14 and left California. But she brought out every pet. I mean, my lizard, my hamsters. I had forgotten. And I mean, individually. So it was like, here you go, here you go, here you go. The cats, the dogs, and I was just like, oh my God, she had every one of them. And at the end, she just sort of, waved, but she let me know they were all there. And if you ever wondered if your animals are safe and waiting for you, they are. Most of us truly believe that, but I know it. I know they're there. So that's my black mirror story. The crystal ball. I keep here. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit. Okay, here in my reading room. Here's the ball. And what I've used it for all these many years is to just sort of in between readings, before I start throwing cards, while the person is, got their hands on the cards and thinking of what they want to know, is I just use it to clear. Just look into the ball and just clear. Okay. And one day I was reading a young Russian witch. And it was surreal. I looked in the mirror, the ball, excuse me, the crystal ball, and it was like the haunted house in Disney. It was smoke all in the mirror, and then it lifted, and there was a skull. It was a skull. And I looked at it and I said, honey, did somebody close to you die recently? And she was like, mm-hmm. And as I looked at the skull, a rope with a noose came down, circled the skull's head, went back up. I said, sweetie, did someone hang themselves? And she was, my father did like 6 weeks ago. And from that point on, yes, I see colors. I'll see cars. I'll see pictures. Not all the time, not every time, but often enough. Now I'm talking about using this every day for about 7 years, 8 years before that happened. I was back in the Monroe shop. You'd want to think that we're good at everything. We're not. And we don't always, it's like practicing, you don't, and then one day you get it. You must have learned how to type. You remember learning how to type and your fingers wouldn't go the right way and it just made no sense and you were trying to type, keyboard, they call it now. And then one day it just clicked, right? And a lot of times the tools we use for divination are like that. We study, we're like, oh, I'm never going to get this right. This is never going to happen for me. And crystal ball work is one of those things that can be like that. astral projection is another thing. You can sit there for years and not astral project. And then for some people, it comes right away. A few things with divination. You can drink some mugwort tea a couple of hours beforehand, which will help open up your mind to that. Particularly, it's great if you want to have dreams. And they say mugwort tea, if you drink that before you go to sleep on the dark of the moon, that's the day before the new moon, you will have apocalyptic dreams, which who needs those right now, but I'm just saying. You also take tea, an infusion, that's tea, mugwort tea infusion, let it cool, and then use it to wipe down your scrying tools. You can pour it over your crystal ball. You don't want to get your mirror wet, but you can, a cloth with some mugwort cooled infusion. That's how you cleanse them, all right? And I'm trying to think what else I want to tell you. Any questions? And just so you know, you don't have to use a sphere when it comes to the quartz. There are some great, what they call tabbies, which are the crystal points, but they've got a flatter side. But any crystal will work. I'm not, and it doesn't have to be, it can be small. Gosh, Patty, who works the crystal ball, I mean, hers is like maybe this big, and she holds it in her hand. Yeah, the 8-inch, that's a huge, huge crystal ball. All right. So no questions about divination, no questions about scrying. You're not curious to know anything about that. Okay. Alrighty then. I think we're gonna throw cards. And I am gonna do the 6-card spread again. Part of me was kind of dreading it because honestly, as we stay isolated and what I want to say trapped, but okay, I guess that's not the socially acceptable word for it. It's like trapped me. There's less and less to talk about. There's less and less to sit there and say, okay, this is what's coming up in the near future. There's just not a lot to say. I can tell you, people are getting cranky and mean out there. Not my people, thank you, but okay, Sam, did you just come in on this? As I just talked about how it works. It's a tool to open up your mind to visions and messages. Alrighty. Hey, Lisa. No, don't be sorry, Sam. I didn't mean it like that. The pendulum? God, I could do a class just on pendulums or talk about pendulums. The pendulum is really along the same lines as the divining rod. Hey, Janice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sam, you asked me a question. But it really is using the pendulum, your body, and energy to get an answer. Many of my readers will have a pendulum or some other form of divination, as well as reading, oracle, runes, whatever they do. Pendulum is best used. It can be used to check the chakras. It can be used to do energy in the home, use it over a spirit board. But when you're looking for an answer, and it is the only divination tool that I know of that answers a definitive yes or no, makes it very, very popular. Plus, they're pretty. But you get a more accurate answer when you're not married to the answer. So if you're hoping to find if you're going to get a job, am I going to get this job? Yes or no? I mean, it's almost impossible not to influence it You know, it's very hard to be objective. So we can't read our own cards. So objectivity is difficult. But when you're reading at a fair or you're reading other people and you don't know that person, you're not married to an outcome, you've got a better shot at getting a very authentic answer. Okay? Because you're not flavoring it with your own hopes, wishes, fears, what have you. When you're reading for a stranger, it's always going to be your best reading. Cold stranger. All right. Energy beings. Do we need to go out of body for that? I mean, going out of body lets us go to different planes, different energetic planes. But at this point, we don't need to leave our body to see anything. They are all over the place, Albert. I mean, more and more people are seeing things. I'm seeing things. Just on the side of the road, they're walking through our homes. Well, there's no one thing they are. There's no one thing. I know people that are seeing obviously aliens, entities from other realms, animal spirits, things from Middle Earth. A lot of mythical looking things I've never seen before. I was like, was that an opossum? Was that a dog? What the hell? But it's like that's not like any animal I've ever seen before. And running along the road, I had one woman who saw what looked like an ant running, and she saw it a few times on the Merritt Parkway, no less. So I don't think there's any one thing we can say they are. Just like you can't say any one animal. Yeah, you can scry into anything. That's true. That's true. When we think of scrying, we usually think of crystal balls, though. That's the classic. In fact, another way to do it, I'm sure you've seen the women with the veil over their head, and then they go over the ball like this, and that's to keep out any other influence. And usually you do keep your crystal ball covered when you're not using it, or your mirror. You don't want energetic influences. So, well, there's a lot of people who believe, and I'm one of them, that after 2012 not being the end of life, but being the end of a way of life. And a lot of the protections, a lot of the safeguards, certainly the veil was lifted. And it became a little bit of free for all. And it's continued to this day. So people are coming in, talking about more and more. I was never into this, and they're seeing things. You know, I got men coming in. They're seeing angels. They're seeing specters. They're hearing things. It's phenomenal. No, a ceiling or a wall, not a consciousness. Although mirrors are generally thought to be portals, the big mirrors on your wall. But what they can do is anything can hold energy, and they can hold. Well, look at the word. I always want to say overlay, and that's the wrong word for it. But let's say at the Trail of Tears, when people go up the Trail of Tears, at the top of this big hill, there is a rest stop, and regularly and routinely, people have almost complete nervous breakdowns going up that trail, to the point that they know they get you out of the car, they give you some coffee, calm you down, because the pain and suffering are ingrained into the energy of place. Same thing with the graveyard, where all the soldiers are buried, where they had the big battle at the Civil War. Oh my God, my son wants to go there so badly. What am I thinking of? Okay. What? And so who says you were in your room, Albert? That's the thing. Were you even in the room anymore? Gettysburg. Thank you, Janice. Roy wants to go to Gettysburg so badly. And what people have seen routinely, regularly, soldiers walking by, the sounds of gunfire, because the events were so intense. The energy was so intense, the fear, the pain, the suffering. I'm sure Auschwitz is the same. And that they are actually, it's part of the energy of place. So it's not that you're seeing a ghost, it's more like a hologram. And these things just play out over and over and over again, like broken records. It just keeps skipping over and over and over. But for you, Albert, I would say that ceiling was gone. If you're doing it out of body, why would you be in the room anymore? And that would not even hold you back. Well, can energy manifest into consciousness? You consciousness, but not a conscience. Okay. All right. Well, let's throw some cards. Okay. Houses hold energy, and it's often when you talk about clearing energy or saging or smudging, you use the example of if you know what it feels like when you've gone house hunting, when you've visited many houses, open houses. There are some houses you walk in and you feel welcome and it feels light and you could see yourself living there. And then there's other houses, usually places often where there was a divorce, a death, someone who was mentally ill, maybe an addict, and the energy is heavy. It weighs down. It actually, it's even hard to breathe sometimes. It's so heavy in there. And that's what you clear and cleanse with. It doesn't have to be smoke. It can be sound. It can be. Oh, you're welcome, Albert. In China, they have a young child go through the house, and they let the child, like a 4-year-old, 7-year-old, young child, 4, I want to say 4 or 5, and they just watch the child. They follow along with a notebook to see where does the child relax, where do they quickly go through, where do they sit, where are they comfortable, and that's how they measure the energy, watching a child go in the room. So I had someone today earlier who I was speaking with, who just got a very large, lovely home, and one of the bedrooms they turned into a playroom. The kids will not go in there. The dogs won't go in there, and when they've had the kids go in there, the kids start crying. They're going to clear that room, you know? So, but not all entities are bad. Not everything has to be cleared. Not everything is a demon, for God's sake. In fact, in all my years, I think twice have I heard of something that I would call, 3 times, that I would say demonic, as in put you in peril. And most of the time, it's just entities, energies, which may or may not be welcome. There you go. Okay. Murder-suicide. Absolutely. Imprint. Thank you. I always say overlay. Albert, it's an imprint. And that's exactly what it is. Gettysburg is imprinted. The Trail of Tears is imprinted. Auschwitz imprinted. It's, I mean, I think the places where everyone gets married, a little church in Las Vegas has probably got some really cool energy. God, pop-ups. I'm sure nothing, I mean, we focus on the negative. I'm sure there's wonderful imprints in places where people are jubilant and happy, and, the energy is fabulous. And that goes for homes too, as I said. All right. Well, like we were talking about cell memory, yeah, absolutely. Well, we know water is sentient or holds memory or holds energy. But what people forget, and you can't forget if you work with elementals, that's elemental energy, nature energies, is that just because it's an energy and there's a consciousness doesn't mean there's a conscience. Okay? Doesn't mean there's empathy. Doesn't mean there's a sense of right or wrong. That's important. Remember, you can be working with an energy that's doing it because they're curious, doing it because they're just wondering, doing it because they're bored, or doing it because they want to jack you up. Yeah, that's the jinn, that's some of the fae, some of the fae. They're not doing it to be funny or kind. They're doing it, they're waiting to see what opportunity they have. They're opportunistic. That's important. Remember that too. So you got to know who you're working with. I always say, know who you're working with, know who you're calling on, know what you're doing. All right. As I was playing around here, I'm throwing cards in a very strange way. Put these away. Not thinking I can't do. No, I don't, Albert. No, I don't think. No. But I am a witch. I don't necessarily believe in hell. I don't believe in Satan. I don't have that black and white. I'm absolutely gray, you know, when it comes to energy. I don't think there's any absolute good or any absolute bad. All right. I don't believe in demons, so I'm telling you, Albert. I really don't. Hey, Sarah. I don't believe in them. I don't necessarily believe in demons per se. I believe in demons. I believe that there's, like, I believe in aliens, but I can't presume to know them, to name them, and I don't want to work with them. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with Aries, doing the 6-card spread. It's fine, Al, but I asked if people had questions, and that's not a problem. I appreciate it, actually. 6-card spread. The first card being the issue. The next 2 cards, with a triangle, are what's immediate future, and then the next 3 cards are what's happening further out into the future. For Aries, the first card is judgment, and that usually is signing contracts. It can be literally a favorable finding from a judge. If you're waiting to hear from, I want to say, oh my gosh, any kind of legal action, complaint, it's favorable. I'm going to say this has more to do with work or career. It's the Emperor reversed, and it's the 8 of Swords reversed. Now, it could be, seriously, divorce, of a divorce decree, Emperor reversed, a man doesn't want to be responsible, and being let loose of bondage. So it can be that, but obviously not every, Aries is going through a divorce right now. I think it's more about new job, new career possibilities. The 4 of Cups reversed, which tells me that you know what you want emotionally. The 3 of Wands reversed, it's you can't do anything now. And Strength reversed, that sense of frustration. I can't even tell you people I know who are in the middle of the interview process when this virus shut everything down. And they're like, don't know what to do with that. Do you continue waiting for the job? Do you start looking for another job? No one's interviewing. I mean, you're not going to do any face-to-face interviews now, but most of that's done on the online anyways. So there's this sense of being stuck in place even while the outcome is favorable, even while you're being let loose from things that held you back. There's still a sense of, but I can't go anywhere with that. A great example might be Emperor reversed. Maybe you've got a boss who's not responsible, because emperors are usually fathers, bosses, husbands. But and it can be a workplace, as the Emperor can be that sense of security, but it's reversed. So it's not behaving, not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And here you are, you've been set loose because you're home, not there, not with that person, not with that energy. And yet you still can't do anything with it. You can't, so this awful betwixt and between sense. The one thing I'll say for Aries is that it looks as though at the end of the day, it's favorable. Okay? At the end of the day, things are working out even as you're stuck in place. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, we have the Four of Swords, the Tower, the Seven of Wands, the Three of Swords reversed, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. How do I read that? And again, I'm going to encourage you. I tell you what the cards are so you can get your own cards out later and write down what I'm saying, and then pull your own cards, put your own cards out in a spread, see how you read it. Okay, this is how I read it. For Taurus, the Four of Swords, that is a card of respite, relaxation, rest after an endeavor or being sick. What do I see? The Tower and the Seven of Wands. So I'm going to say, unlike Aries, that's in a situation where there's good news pending, and it's good that they're there, but a frustration of being stuck. In the case of Taurus, I'm going to say there's combativeness as you're on this vacation, this break, this Corona break. The Tower, not great. Seven of Wands, not great. That really is animosity, struggle, strife. The Tower, anxiety, the Three of Swords reversed. I'm going to say for Taurus, man, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, you can't wait to get back to work. You can't wait to get out of the situation. As you're trying to relax, it looks like all crap's blowing up around you. Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles. I mean, your job's waiting for you. Money's waiting for you. But where I see you trying to relax, trying to use this time. Now, I just had a reading earlier today. Woman's home with 7 kids in the house. 7 stepkids, own kids. And it's just, there's no relaxing. It's constant. And there's the kids are angry and they're frustrated. So this isn't a vacation break for a lot of people. It's extremely difficult. In the case of Taurus, it's just all around you. And it's not pleasant. And it looks as though there's arguing, fighting. I hope it's not violence. It feels like it's very threatening. If you do this, I'm going to do that, kind of a back and forth. Not great. A lot of anxiety. And for you, it's just get back to work as fast as you can, as soon as you can. Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Gemini starts with death reversed. That's change that you're bringing about. Big change, metamorphic change, but you're bringing it about. And I see the Empress and the Queen of Swords. The Empress is usually a woman who has her own business or is the matriarch of a family. And the Queen of Swords is usually very often a businesswoman, very cerebral. Swords are air. So it could be making clear plans, looking at these cards, these other cards. I'm going to say making plans, making changes in the way you do business, Gemini. How you want to do business. The eight of coins has you possibly taking classes, anything to enhance the mastery of what you do. So a certificate program, a class online. Again, the thought of how can I bring this forward? How can I, like, for example, working on an online store, how can I bring this forward? How can I use technology? How can I use technology is also air, and Gemini rules that, by the way, technology. A lot of pressure. The 10 of Wands is pressure. And what I do like is the 5 of Cups reversed. It's like, okay, it's been a month. It's been this time. Got to do things differently. So, I have friends who have gyms and they're doing, one-on-one. They're doing the online support. You do what you have to do to keep things going. All right. But I'm going to say that's what Gemini is doing, is looking at how they restructure classes they can take, things they can do to bring this forward, knowing that things are changing and the way we do business is changing, or using this time, I should say, also to take a class looking at the possibility of enhancing or changing your career. But I don't think it's about changing so much as it's about making more money and enhancing. Apocalyptic dreams. Oy. I have those two. All right. We have Cancer. I will say right now, with in regard to dreams, and this, I get constant messages. I had this dream. What do you think this dream meant? What do you? The thing about dreams is this: there are people who have prophetic dreams, absolutely, and they say, since I was a little girl or a young man, a young boy, I would dream something and it would happen. 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever, it would happen exactly the way I saw it in the dream. But for most of us, dreams are the way that we process information without logic weighing it down. So when we're sleeping, that part of our brain, the logical thinking part of our brain, is off. And all that's left is the creative imagination rather. And so we can go at a problem in a different way. Even though it makes no sense, that's because logic's been turned off. So if you have a dream that you're, I don't know, flying around with big wings, well, because you can, but it's symbolic of something else. You're not going to suddenly sprout wings. I can almost 100% assure you that it's not prophetic. You will probably not be running around like that. Or, I think of the dreams that I've had, and they're just not going to happen that way. But it's the way I was processing information, looking for answers, looking for resolution. So that's the two types of dreams, either conflict or some kind of resolution, or truly prophetic dreams. All right, well, Cancer. Start off with the 8 of Cups reversed, the 3 of Pentacles reversed, and the 7 of Cups. Temperance reversed, 6 of Coins. I'm sorry, the 6 of Pentacles reversed, and the 8 of Cups. Not great. And again, I'm going to say, if this doesn't pertain to you, it might pertain to one of your kids or your siblings, someone you're close to, and they were on your mind. And so think about people you may know going through this. Ace of Cups is a state of not being in love, not being happy, not feeling that your needs are being met. And I want to say, with the 3 of Pentacles reversed and the 7 of Cups, I don't think you want to do what you've been doing. I don't think you're happy. I don't think you want to do work in where you were educated, in your area of education, or you just can't right now. But it looks like it doesn't make you happy anymore. I'm going to say that's what it looks like. Temperance reversed, out of balance. 6 of Pentacles reversed, not receiving money that's owed to you, not receiving money that you thought you had coming, not being paid. And the 8 of Cups has you leaving. So for Cancer, it may just be that this is just not working out. Things aren't happening the way you want them to. And the 8 of Cups would have you literally leaving, like actually relocating, actually going. It's like these are great cards, and then we have the 8 of Cups, like, bye, you're right, this isn't working, and this isn't working, and this isn't working, and I'm gonna go. 2 of Pentacles reversed, just throw one more card. It looks as though going, and it just could be as simple as you can't find the job you want here. Some jobs are regional. Some jobs, you're in this area, like landscaping jobs, like in Maine, where there's a very short season. Unless you want to move snow, you probably want to go someplace like Florida, where it's a 12-month out of the year job. So, I mean, for some of the situations, I can't do what I want to do here. I've got to go elsewhere. Yoga studios out in California open up, people are thronging. Here, I've known they've gone under. it's not the same perception, you know. Um, all right. But the Cancer, the idea that this isn't working and I think I'll just leave, basically. Leo. Well, for Leo, the very first card that comes up is the Six of Swords, and I usually see that as being big travel, big relocation, often across a body of water. It can be big travel, but it's usually accompanied by moving. So it'd be like a cross-country move or interstate states move. You know, it's not going down the block and buying a house, that's for sure. The King of Cups upright and the Sun reversed. The World reversed. The Ace of Wands, the Wheel reversed. Not that different than Cancer, frankly. This idea of relocation or moving. Sun reversed can speak to job loss. It can speak to divorce. Not a great one. But the Ace of Wands is new job. World reversed, big change. World upside down, whole new change. The Wheel reversed, stuck in place. I want to think this is someone who, and it may be you, maybe your spouse, that again needs to take a transfer, needs to go someplace else. The Ace of Wands is a great card for creative opportunities, for career. The World reversed, everything changing. And this idea that I can't do it now or I can't go right now. The Wheel reversed, stuck in place. I'm going to say again, we were at this point where you just can't go. People you can't relocate. They're going and they're just waiting around to start their jobs. It's where people are transferring. It's just transfer and wait. This honestly for Leo looks like that scenario where there's an opportunity. You're either waiting for the chance to actually make the move to go, and it's just all been put on ice right now. All right, Virgo. This is making sense for anybody right now? Virgo. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. We have the the Chariot. We have the King of Pentacles reversed. Then we have the Lovers, the King of Swords reversed, and the Two of Cups. Whew. Well, Virgo. I mean, at first glance, if I was reading someone across the table, I would ask if you're waiting to sell a house, if you're waiting to get rid of a piece of property, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Tying you to someone you don't love anymore, King of Swords reversed. Who's more concerned about money, King of Pentacles reversed, than emotions or you. And this idea that once you're set free, once you can go, the Lovers, the Two of Cups, and those are wonderful cards for love and romance. They're just the best cards. All it's missing is like the Ace of Cups. So it's almost like you're just waiting on ice. But this is to start a new life, a new romance, to break away from something that really looks very unhappy. And it's either a real estate deal, waiting to sell a house so you could just take your money and go, your half of it. Getting away from somebody. King of Swords reverse is a bully. King of Swords reverse is someone who either is passive aggressive and doesn't speak at all, or when they speak, they're just nasty. Okay? Not a great card, King of Swords reversed. And everyone's just waiting. It looks like with the King of Pentacles reversed, looks like everyone's just waiting to get paid off, and no one can move until it happens. You know, no one's willing to go rent someplace. No one's willing to leave one person in the house and you go. No. You're just kind of stuck in place. Nothing can move forward until house is sold, until something changes in terms of the bottom line. Okay. There you go. Okay. And that's exactly what it would look like. Okay, Libra. Libra. Well, Libra, looks like you're in love. I love the Knight of Cups is bringing in love. And I'm going to say money is tough right now. Queen of Pentacles reversed. High Priestess reversed. Time to think logically, not intuitively, logically. The Ten of Swords reversed, so coming back up, from the bottom of the barrel. The Hierophant reversed, something unconventional, getting out of a rut, getting out of and the Devil reversed, getting away from something that's toxic or bad for you. Now it could be a young person, the Knight, breaking away from an addiction issue. Okay, could be that. But it looks more to me with this feminine influence, someone who, again, is either going to someone they love or going to a job they would love, a career they would love, a life they would love. And breaking away again, the Ten of Swords reversed and the Devil, breaking away from something that's toxic, breaking away from something that's not good for you. The Page of Cups. And that, again, that's news of love. The Knight of Cups is bringing in love. But the Page of Cups can also be a young child. A young child. And I'll tell you what this also can read like. So many ways to read this. But it could read as a mother who's out of work. Queen of Pentacles reversed. High Priestess reversed. Hierophant reversed. But Devil reversed. Ten of Swords reversed. And we see the Page of Cups, which is upright. This is a very emotional child, very gentle child, possibly someone who's musical, writes poetry. This is a kid who's got a very soft heart. These are the kids that are thriving with this at-home education, okay? So it's almost like the Devil reversed and the Ten of Swords reversed is getting away from something toxic, things getting so much better. A lot of you are telling me, and I talked about this, I wrote about this in my newsletter, that kids that hated going to school, every day was a struggle, where they were not doing well, where they were hearing about all the behavioral problems and that those go away when the pressure is off. Ooh, I'll talk about automatic writing when I'm done with this. That's funny because I was going to talk about that because I want people to know that you don't have to invest. Like I said with the wands last week, no one needs to buy a tool. No one has to do that. I'm sure you've got a black cup if you want to do the bowl. You don't have to buy the stone bowl. Anyways, okay, automatic writing, absolutely. All right, so that was Libra. So now we're on Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Well, the first card that comes up is the Ace of Swords. That's a great card. It goes Ace of Swords, Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Hermit, Six of Cups reversed. Whew, all right. Well, Scorpio, you're going it alone this time. This is something that no one can come with you, although they want to. The Nine of Cups reversed. This is somebody who really emotionally wants to be there for you. Doesn't want to hold back on their feelings, and yet there's a sense of, as there's often a sense for Scorpios, I'm in this alone. No one sees this but me. Although you're being very vocal and you are sharing information, Queen of Wands, trying to help people. Ace of Pentacles reversed, Six of Cups reversed. I'll throw one more card for Scorpio. Okay, and that's the Three of Cups. Scorpio, the Six of Cups reversed is not being happy at home, not having happy cohabitation, not being happy. Ace of Pentacles reversed, what do you think? As people get anxious about money, they fight, they bicker. Not sure you're happy where you are. Not sure you're happy with that. I'm not sure that and not having money isn't helping any of this. Now, the card I threw was the Three of Cups. That's a card of celebration and emotional happiness. It would be like well, things are tough right now, but my kid's getting married, or there's something wonderful happening. Someone's having a baby. I mean, it's finding joy in something outside of what's going on within the house and financially. But there is a sense that even with that, you're going to enjoy that alone. That's not something you can share with anybody. That's not something that the whole world's on board with. The hermit is always a card of loneliness. I mean, when it's reversed, it's choosing to be alone. But the hermit upright is really loneliness. Is I have no one to help me here. No one is understanding me. I really feeling alone. And again, Scorpio, that's they're kind of the MO. Not many people can swim as deep as a Scorpio, and it's lonely. It's lonely. I hear that a lot from Scorpios. They've actually gotten used to it by a certain age. They're just used to it. But until they reach a certain age, they really don't understand why they scare people. Don't understand why they intimidate people. Don't understand why nobody, as a kid, wants to sit at the lunch table, or why people give them weird sideways looks, or why when you're talking to a group of people, all of a sudden women are like grabbing their husbands, or as if like you're trying to get them. I can't tell you how many Scorpio women have told me they've got very few female friends, a lot of jealousy, and jealousy can make you very much alone. But it looks as though there's something to celebrate, and yet you're celebrating alone. Right? Love that. But I will say the very first card, Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Wands, no one's being mean to you. There's no cruelty, there's no violence, nothing like that. You're doing what you need to do. Queen of Wands, friendly, Ace of Swords, strong communication. Usually a big action card. Why is what, Sam? I know you're a Scorpio. Why is what? You there, Sam? Oh, you want to answer, Sam? I suspect it's something to do with Scorpio and how they affect people, or how people are affected by them. You know what? Let's not. That's on the Scorpio. That's on the Scorpio. That's on you. The sideways glance. There's a couple of things. One is Scorpio looks through you. And most people realize, even with a Scorpio child, that they're reading you. They're reading your body language. They're taking in things, and they don't like it. Nobody wants to feel like they're naked or like they're being laid bare. And Scorpio does give that gives that impression. And women, Scorpio women tend to have a lot of male friends. Men, it's a masculine sign. It's a masculine planet. So Scorpio does get along very well with men. And they're okay. You know what, Sam, answered your own question, because people know that Scorpio, it's the steel hand in the velvet glove. They know that person is capable of something else, and they're afraid of them, they're intimidated by them, or they're jealous of them. And none of those scenarios work out well for the Scorpio. There's a lot of insecure people out there, and they don't understand the concept of a successful woman. And I was thinking about this. I was wondering if I was going to bring it up today. With women, it's very hard to win in general. It's hard to win. And I was just thinking how women who are successful and confident, Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart, it's like always questioning their sexuality, like, because you can't be all feminine if you're got a great mind for business. This idea that I've worked in Fortune 500 companies, so you dress up, you dress cute, you have makeup on, and you get promoted, and it's like, well, of course she got promoted. I mean, she probably did this or did that. I mean, I've heard that. Now, actually, I worked long past I should have gone home, brought work home with me, worked through my breaks, worked through lunch breaks. That's how I got promoted. But, if you're pretty and or if you go the other way, wear your hair up, no makeup, very severe suits, nothing. Oh, of course they made it. You must be a dyke, must be a lesbian, must be, she doesn't want a home, doesn't want kids. I mean, there's no winning. In the professional world, there's no winning. And I mean, there is, but usually you got to own your own business or get to that point where you're making the rules. And then you can change. And we see companies where the company atmosphere, the energy, it changes because there's women at the top and they're running things differently. We see that when women run countries. It's a different energy. So, long answer for you, but Scorpio, being a masculine planet, being on the masculine side of things, it tends to intimidate women and people in general. Okay, now I'm looking at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Four of Wands reversed, the Page of Swords reversed. The next line, the Nine of Swords reversed, the Knight of Swords upright, and the Star. Okay? Queen of Cups reversed. Usually anxiety, depression, sometimes a woman who's drinking too much, can be a female alcoholic, the cups reversed, but very often anxiety, depression. The Four of Wands reversed, the Page of Swords reversed. Again, not being happy in the environment, feeling caged in, feeling uncomfortable in your own skin, in your own home. Page of Swords reversed, not talking about it. And what are you going to do? At this time, what are you going to do? We see people on Facebook either absolutely imploding or just saying very little, and not talking. And actually, we see more withdrawing from social media, taking a step back and a step back and a step back. They want nothing. They just don't want it. Don't want the information. Don't want to hear about it. They're just doing their own thing. So that's what I'm seeing here is just more like this. And sadly though, when you are depressed or anxious, that's the time when you need to be social. You need to be talking to people. You need to lift yourself out of it. And it's not the energy of most Sagittarians. Most Sagittarians are really good at, but the way they do it is by playing sports, by traveling, by moving. So you stick them in the house and you tell them they can't go out, that's not good. And yes, a Sag will start drinking. A Sag will get depressed. Absolutely. The Nine of Swords reversed, the Knight of Swords upright, and the Star. I mean, this is temporary. This is temporary. We cannot keep this country. I will say we can't. I always keep politics out of it. We cannot keep the country shut down. This can't go on much longer. I mean, it can't. We can't sustain it. 3 years ago, I would have had to close my shop. I would have been done, shuttered and done. And it's. I mean, I am grateful now. And again, I will say I did know something big was happening. I did know financial. I said it enough times. I wrote it enough times. And I worked 12, 14, 16 hours a day and just put away money, a little bit of money. Trust me, we're not talking about, but enough that I could get through a few months if I had to. And I have to. So my bills are getting paid. My shop will be all right. I'm placing some orders. I'm planning on reopening with a full shop and ready to go here. But man, that's not the case for a lot of people. And again, 3 years ago before I came to Derby and I actually doubled my business, no, wouldn't have happened. I could never have sustained this, could never have paid my bills, could never have continued on. All right. So what I'm saying to you, Sag, is that Nine of Swords reversed, anxiety that's lifting, the Knight of Swords, action coming in, and the Star. You're going to be back to work. You're going to be back to work. You're going to be active again. You're going to be out. The Star and the Sun, the two best cards in the deck. All right. It's temporary. And I have to laugh. My own daughter's a Sag, going through it right now. You know, she's going through it right now. This is a girl who travels, who moves, who goes, who runs, who hits the gym, who works, a nice 10-hour day. And then she blows off steam with her friends. They're very social. I mean, Sag, Gemini, Aquarius, these are those social signs. They are not signs that are meant to be stuck inside with no social contact. No, no. All right. Oh, Capricorn. All about career and money, man. This is so funny. Okay, the first card, Two of Swords reversed. Two of Swords, rock in a hard place, reversed. Choosing rock or hard place. We have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. We have the Five of Wands. Well, conflict in the work environment, or an uncertainty in the work environment, coupled with the Nine of Pentacles, questions about money. Well, I mean, everyone's wondering, is there going to be a furlough? Do I have a job? And it's that sense of, what do I do here? A lot of people, teachers I know, they're working, they're just Forrest Gumping. They're just Forrest Gumping their way through with software they're not familiar with, trying to work remotely. I mean, it's nuts. I know a lot of recruiters. Oh my God, So it's trying to keep your numbers up, trying to maintain your numbers at the same time as you're just like, what am I doing? Okay. The Eight of Wands reversed. Again, that idea of career stuck in place, not moving forward. And yet, okay, just like Sag, I have the Fool and I have the Six of Swords. And that is, again, fresh start, new beginnings, and career advancement. It's like your car, it won't start. Boom, it starts. We're stalled. It's a stall. And that's there's not a lot to talk about because that's what people are dealing with. It's not great for Capricorns not be able to go to the office, not be able to properly, do what they do, make the money, talk to the people, organize, plan, strategize. My God. A sense of lack of control there, Not so much conflict as there is this sense of being out of your environment. Happy ending, absolutely, Nicoletta. Absolutely. Oh no, Capricorn will turn this around. Capricorn will turn it around. Capricorn is that sign. It's like life gives you lemons. You make lemonade. In the case of Capricorn, you begin a lemonade conglomerate. You buy some orchards of lemons. You put all the other companies out of business. You make lemonade ice. You make lemonade, lemon pies. You are the lemon queen. That's what Capricorn does when you give them lemons. Okay, so I love Capricorn, man. Anyway, yeah, it's hard. Okay, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, I have the Seven of Swords reversed, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Ten of Cups, Page of Wands reversed, and this is fucked. The Seven of Swords upright is take what you can and save yourself, but it's reversed, so you can't get out of your own way. You can't get out of it's like being at the base of the mountain and the avalanche is coming and you look down and you're like, shit, I can't get out of the way of this thing. That's what it feels like. The Five of Pentacles, not a great money card. And the thing is, but here's the thing, okay? The way I would read these cards is like Aquarius out of work, but someone else is in the house making money, so the house is still maintained, the Ten of Cups, all right? Even though it looks like it is really tight, really difficult. It looks like you've got at least one and possibly a kid, Page of Wands reversed, working. Everyone's pitching in here and helping out, but for the Aquarius, it's nerve-wracking No news of new money in terms of you, Aquarius. And who the hell wants their kid to float them alone or give them money? Who wants to know their kid can't, it's tough. Nobody likes being the one sitting there not able to contribute. And for Aquarius, that's a nightmare. And it doesn't, one more card. Oh, the Hangman reversed. This sense of feeling useless, that your efforts unappreciated, that you wasted time. And that's the problem, is that we sit there when you're stuck in place, then that's what's causing the depression, is people have too much time on their hands to think about regrets, think about mistakes, think about problems. And you need to, that's what work does for us. We get out of our heads and into another situation that we don't have to think about where we went wrong. There is a sense of wishing you weren't in that job. There's a sense of, how did I put myself in this position? But I don't see in the immediate, there's a real shortage of money, and this is going to stay tight for a while. But I don't see loss of home. I don't see devastation. I don't see death. I don't see sickness. It's really just, there's not enough money coming into the house. There's not enough money coming in, and it's tough. And it's leaving the Aquarius with too much time. And of course, they're very cerebral. Of course, they're just going over it in their mind, over it in their mind, over it in their mind. All right, Pisces. First card up is Justice. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. We have the King of Wands reversed. We have the Five of Swords reversed, the Moon reversed, and the Two of Wands. How do I read that? Well, Justice is justice. It's a great card. It's a great card for signing contracts. It's a great card for things going right. It's a great card for things working out, things being fair. Fairness is the the word you use. The Seven of Pentacles reversed is no financial rewards for what you're putting in. What you're working on isn't reaping rewards yet. Maybe and okay, again, what people are doing in this energy, they're starting websites, they're thinking of secondary careers, they're doing all the legwork, the laying the foundation, but there's no money coming in from that. Okay. King of Wands reversed is usually the male workaholic. The Five of Swords reversed, the Moon reversed, the Two of Wands. The Five of Swords reversed is always for me walking away from the fight. The Moon reversed is things revealed, things that were hidden revealed. And the Two of Wands is new partnership. And it's usually that job that lands in your lap, that job that you get that phone call, hey, are you needing somebody? I need someone too. Are you looking for a job? Okay, well, they're hiring, put an application in. I'll put in a good word for you. It's that job that lands in your lap. So for Pisces, what I'm going to say is, hopefully you've got someone who's working very hard. This idea of not making money at what you do, walking away, realizing this is what you want to do, and I'm seeing some new opportunity right in front of you. So again, they're not terrible cards. There's frustration, realizing that you're wasting your time, or maybe that's something that you hadn't thought of before. Now you're seeing it. Okay, I never made enough money at that job. Now I'm not making any money at that job. I was never happy at that job. I time to walk away from the job. This idea of let's leave something behind that's not making money. That's not the rewards are not there. And I see it very clearly now. I've been wasting my time. But then the Two of Wands shows up, and it's like, okay, well, you know what? You can do this. Maybe you haven't totally figured it out yet, but there's something else you can do. Let me help you. Let me give you a job. Let me. And there was 2 cards left over. So for Pisces, the 9 of Swords and the Magician. So while you may be skeptical, you may be on guard with this opportunity. Maybe it looks like it's a trap or a trick, or you can't really do it. Or no, I'm gonna say yes. The Magician's covering it, so you got this. Anticipating problems, anticipating not being good enough. Well, that's a very Pisces trait. Pisces always wonders if they're measuring up, but the Magician says, "Yeah, you got it. You're okay." The Lemon Queen. It's true. It's true. You see a Capricorn go down, and they do. They're like Aquarius. They go down hard. But they resurrect, honey. Capricorn is always got time on its side. And Capricorn is a sign that as it gets older, it gets younger. And I've talked to enough parents of Capricorns. They're like little old men and little old ladies as children. They got their socks just laid out just so, or their shoes just so, and I can't wear those pants with those shoes, and I can't, when they're eating their food, they're very methodical and nothing can touch, and they have very clear rules about the things they have rules about, but they lighten up as they get older. When other people are thinking it's time to go hit the rocking chair on the front porch, Capricorn's like, hell no, man. And they usually look younger too. They age in reverse. So God bless the Capricorns. Let me tell you. I'm amazing. So automatic writing. Same setting. You want the light behind you. You want the biggest piece of paper you can find. What's really ideal is those big, you've seen them, sketch pads. They're blank, but they're big, like 17 by 12. Okay? That's ideal because you want a big piece of paper. You want a pen that flows beautifully, the nicest writing pen you can find. Light behind you, dim the room because you don't need to see the paper. They say after 10 minutes, just give it up. Don't sit there for hours. It's not going to happen. If it happens quickly. You, again, clear, calm, and center. Let it go. Right? And just ask for guidance. It's almost a form of channeling because you're depending on how you do it, someone can move that hand for you. But you may just get a scribble, you may get a picture, a doodle, or in my case, I've done it, and I actually had a letter from my grandmother. Absolutely, a letter and stuff that I wasn't thinking about that, and I really, but it was her words. It was exactly how she would have said it to me. So it's a great, your friend that suggested that, Sarah, is a great idea. Automatic writing can be a wonderful way to make contact. So, yeah, and don't be frustrated if it doesn't work the first time. If you want to put a picture of your husband or hold his memory, however, whatever. But basically, you want the lights dim. You hold the pen over the paper and just relax. You can close your eyes and just see what happens. All right, that's automatic writing. They say that Miriam or calligraphy stone helps with that, helps automatic writing. And yes, I have them. I think I have them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have them. I think I just got them in. I got stuff in that I haven't even unpacked yet. I've got some really cool incense burners, the ones that go, the backflow, the ones that go down and up, a box of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff to do in the store over the next couple of weeks. So that's what's going on here, guys. I'm not even sure where to direct you at this point. Try to read, try to turn off. One thing is if you've got a TV in your bedroom, not only turn it off, but unplug it when you go to sleep, okay? Actually unplug it, because plugged in, there's still some energy that comes off of it, and it's literally energy, not, and and you do want to not have that. You'll get a better sleep if you just unplug it. Try to fall asleep with the TV on, because I think subliminally that can't be good for you, especially if it's something, obviously negative images, negative. You just don't want that in your head. All right. Try to get outside. I said hug a tree. I meant it. But try to get outside for a walk. Dig up something in the garden, mow the lawn. It's going to snow tomorrow, I guess, in the morning, possibly. But I take a walk. Just take a walk around the block. Just get outside. Someone told me, and I've been doing this, a lot of us, because we're not getting the same amount of exercise, our lymph glands can be clogged or not flowing lymph properly. So 2 things you can do is lay on your bed and like put your feet on the wall so that you like an L, like your legs are here and you're and just stay like that. Look at your phone, relax, but like a good 5-10 minutes helps drain the lymph glands in the lymph system. I know I was talking about lymphatic massage, dry brushing. Go to Big Y has them. They have these really great brushes for the shower, but you're not going to get them wet. And with the long handle, it's like $5. Dry brushing. Look it up on Google, but that's another great way. And if you have one of those big exercise bowls, and I do the crunches every night, it works as a rebounding is best. That action is great for you. If you can't do a rebounder, it's like a mini trampoline, then just sit on the ball and just bounce. Just gently bounce on the ball, and it just somehow makes that flow better. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Google search ways to improve your lymph system, or ways to I'll look at lymph system health and you'll pull it up. Exercises. All right. I'm trying to think of ways to keep y'all healthy and keep us all healthy. It is tough. And the things that most of us do, get a pedicure, get our hair cut. I mean, can't do those things either. So, especially for you Sagittarians out there, find a way to contact your friends. Don't isolate yourselves. There's other ways to get outside and find things to do. All right. One nice thing for a Sag to do: see if you can't volunteer at the local animal shelter. See if they need help there. Call your dog pound. See if that's something that they'll let you come in to volunteer to come in and just work with the animals a little bit. That would cheer up the average Sag. It would cheer up everybody, right? Okay, guys. Thank you all. Have a good night. Yeah, once I'm open again, I know. Feels like it's been almost a month, right? It'll be 4 weeks. Is it going to be 4 weeks on Sunday? And I didn't even mention that I had my 13-year anniversary on the 15th of April. 13 years in business. So, damn, huh? Way to go. But it's all good. All right, everyone, good night. Behave yourselves, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.